The tools required to terminate the SWA cable is first a pencil, tape measure, junior hacksaw, knife, water pump pliers or grips, and assorted spanners. When installing SWA cable, the gland shroud is the first thing to be fitted to our SWA. Using the SWA as a guide, place the shroud onto the cable so a clear indentation can be seen. Then, using a knife, as demonstrated here, the installer is using a safety retractable knife, we can cut the tip of the shroud removing this and then fitting the shroud onto the outer sheath of the SWA. At a sufficient length down the SWA to provide enough termination at any distribution point or accessory, use a junior hacksaw to cut through the outer sheath and partially cut through the inner armourings. A junior hacksaw is used for this size of SWA. Larger sizes may require the full size hacksaw to achieve this same operation. Once the cut is made, we can use the safety knife to remove the outer PVC covering or outer PVC sheath as shown. Then the armourings can be bent back and snapped off because of where they've been partially cut through, leaving the inner core exposed. The SWA cable gland, part of it can now be fitted to the SWA itself, and we can now remove a small section of the outer sheath as shown by the installer here, which shows the actual makeup of the SWA. Here we see the outer sheath, the armourings and the inner sheath. By taking the inner sheath and rotating around, we can spiral to give a cone shape on the inner armourings. This will help fit in the gland later. Now we need to remove the inner sheath. Carefully score the inner sheath using our safety knife. Be careful not to go too far through so as to damage the inner cores. Next, score down the edge. Again, be careful only to use tiny pressure so as not to damage the inner cores. Peel back the edge and then use the inner cores to tear away the inner sheath. This should tear along our score points to leave a neat termination. The inner cores are twisted together. Untwist these and straighten. The remaining parts of the gland are the gland body, the earth ring and the lock nut. These are to be fitted into the distribution board at the 20mm knockout. Place the gland body in, then the earth ring and then the lock nut. Secure the gland finger tight as shown, and then place the earth ring in position and hold in position by bolting it through the pre-drilled hole. Tighten the lock nut now and the gland together to ensure a good solid connection, a good earth connection to the body of the distribution board. In some cases this will mean removing some of the paint to ensure a good connection. The CPC travels from the earth bar along this cable, which we now can connect to the earth ring at our bolt point. Place the CPC link onto the bolt and tighten the nut to ensure a good electrical and mechanical connection. Tug the earth to see that it is sound. The circuit is to be fed off a 20 amp breaker to feed this isolator. Here we see one end of the SWA as being connected already, and now we need to connect in the end that we have terminated or made off so far. Here is our arm rings that we spiraled. They will go onto the outer edge of the gland. Place the inner course through the centre of the gland. Place the inner sheathing through the centre, but the arm rings must go onto the outside as shown. Then the back nut of the gland can be positioned and threaded onto the outer gland. This can then be tightened by using a spanner. Care must be taken to ensure that no parts of the arm rings come out from the gland at this particular point. When we're happy with the gland connection, we can fit our shroud. The arm ring is connected from both ends now to our isolator, but we need to secure this by means of cleats that will be seen later.